Hey, seekers, let's talk about God, gods, God versus gods. Welcome to the Existential Shift. My name is Morgainne, and I'm very happy and fortunate to have you here. So it's um it's an ancient battle, right? Is it the one God faith, the monotheistic faiths that are in the right? Is it the more ancient schools of thoughts and philosophies and faiths that are in the right when it comes to multiple gods, deities, divinities? It seems to be something that is a play on the game of polarities. It is inevitable. It is our nature to divide. Um, in order for us to understand fragmentation, the fragmented world in which we live in, we must examine each fragmented portion on its own so we could understand it fully before we can grow and expand and evolve to the level in which we can integrate the different fragmentations into one. So the idea of monotheism, of a one God, is true. However, the idea of gods in plurals is true, and not in ways of contradicting realities in the quantum field of infinite possibilities, rather in two languages to describe the same thing. What do I mean by that? Think of me as an ecosystem, and that applies to every single one of you watching. I am one, I am whole, I am me. However, I'm also the sum of my parts, my nose, my eyes, my fingers, my internal organs, and if you really want to fragment it even more, my molecules, my atoms, my elementals, the empty space in between all those. So I am one divine existence. However, I'm also a pilation of infinite fragmented aspects, parts of an ecosystem. I'm pieces of a puzzle, and I'm also the big picture of a puzzle. So we can look at the one God as the big picture of the puzzle of our existence within this multiverse. And we can look at gods as the fragmented aspects of that God, aka the pieces of that puzzle. And it's not necessarily to be looked at as fragmented, broken parts when it comes to thinking about gods and multiple deities, right? Because every piece of a puzzle is a world in and of itself. It has colors, it has a shape, it has an image, it has beauty, it has uniqueness. And just like I have different extensions that express this whole ecosystem, this oneness existence, also God has extensions, gods. So if I have a mind and a heart and a body and a spirit, and within all these, this range of human existence, I have moods and thoughts and also fields of life and layers and you know think of, okay, my love life, right, my career, my health, my spiritual evolution. All of these things are not lies, they're not sins to be spoken of as sins just because I'm also a one person, an individual, a Morgainne, right? You all understand that I have all these things in me, from all the aspects that make my body, my physiques, to all the aspects that make my human condition. Thinking about these plural aspects of the one of me as a sin or as wrong or as even broken or fragmented, it feels wrong for a reason. The goddess of love and passion, aka Aphrodite or Venus or Demeter or Freya, she's an extension of divine love that is a part of God. Mars, right? Um, Ares, the energy of warfare and active power, force in the world, and movement and fire. It's a valid aspect of divine entity and of our existence. Sometimes I'm a lover, aka Venus. Sometimes I'm a warrior, aka Mars. Mercury or Hermes, the thought, the mind, knowledge, truth, all of these things, you don't think about them as broken or damaged or even sinful. You understand that they are a very important, beautiful, divine aspect of existence. And so the god of Mercury, Hermes, whatever, I'm just giving different names from different cultures to express the same deity, the same archetype of a deity, Thoth. Okay. That is the mind element of God and the knowledge. All the zodiac signs, 12, or as I would like, or as I follow, 13th signs, they are rays to the sun. God be the sun, and the signs are the rays. God be the sun, then the gods be the rays. Rays of light, I mean. God is God's. Gods are God. There is no contradiction if you have faith in the one God and if you have faith in multiple gods. It is even in ancient esoteric writings. In Kabbalah, which is the soul and esoteric of Judaism, we say Elohim. And not just in Kabbalah, you can read about it there, but the word in Hebrew for God, and I mean the one God. Now, Hebrew Judaism is the first religion that is monotheistic, the first religion that brought the idea of one God. So if in Hebrew the word God is Elohim, and I'll explain if you're confused a little bit, you're confused for a reason because you don't understand, you possibly don't know Hebrew, so I'll help with that, no worries. In Hebrew, when you add im at the end of the word, it makes it into plurals. It's the equivalent to the letter S in English, right? If you add S to a word, it turns it into plurals, often in the language. So similarly with im. Now, if you really want to say God as an individual, as a one, you would want to use in Hebrew the word Elohah. Elohah is God. Elohim, if we look at it linguistic wise, just the language, Elohim is actually the equivalent to gods. Elohim is plural in the language. Now, most Hebrew speakers are not even conscientious to that because we're born and raised, with this language. So we say, when I want to say, oh my God, I will say, Yo Elohim, right? And because it's a monotheistic faith, then the automatic connotation is Elohim is one, right? But if really we just dissect it linguistic wise, Elohim is plurals for a reason. In the ancient writings, in the most ancient one God faith, it refers to the one God as gods because the one God is inclusive to all the gods, not in resistance to gods, not in denial of gods, not in, oh, it's sinful to think that there are gods, it's only just me, one God. No, the one God is also the gods. So, interestingly enough, God versus gods, it's not really versus. It's not really in contradiction. It's an integration. It is the same. So whether you are a person of faith of multiple gods, if you're pagan, if you're Buddhist, and so on and so forth, or whether you're part of the Abrahamic religions, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, honestly, I hate to break it to you, but you're all the same. And I say it in the most loving, you know, respectful manner. I believe in one divinity and I believe in divinities. When I want to pray for love, I speak to Venus. When I want to win a battle, I speak to Mars. When I want to know something, I speak to Mercury or Hermes. You know, it's three examples out of infinite examples. Because when you want something to be done in your neighborhood or in your town, you're not going to try to reach the president. Yes, the president might be allegedly superior to your mayor, or should I say inclusive to your mayor, but still, you're not going to even try to bother the president, not that you can reach him for these relatively more minor things, but it would make no sense for you to call the president over a sanitation situation in your neighborhood or a, a road that isn't built properly that needs to be fixed. You'll speak to your local representatives. So, all of you out there, you can speak to the God and you can speak to its extensions. You're free to speak to anyone or anything. You will never be in contradiction of a faith as long as you express faith to anything with love. You exist, hence you are valid. And in this quantum field of infinity, everything we believe in is real. Not to say that we're not bound to Newtonian laws of physics and Hermetic laws in this reality. We are. I can't fly. The eagle can fly. It's possible to fly, just not for me. The acknowledgement of the existence of the eagle is not going to make me to try and fly. That will be insane, right? And I will get hurt. But similarly, just because you know that there is infinity of possibilities in existence and realities, that doesn't mean you're going to behave as if you don't exist currently in this reality. Okay? So this is just a side note. You exist in reality, play by the rules, because I want you to be okay and to succeed in this life that you chose to partake in. Or so I hope that we choose this and are not forced to, but that's a different conversation. Anywho, I was making a philosophical argument. Doesn't matter what you believe in, if you can imagine it, it is real, even if not in this reality, then in another reality. So you can be wrong maybe in this realm, but correct theoretically for another realm. Either way, you're valid and valued. And if you want to apply to what is relevant to this realm, the one or the ones, Eloha or Elohim, God or gods, both apply. Play, okay, play with, pray to, speak with, tap into, connect with, whichever applies to your situation in the moment. I'm not here to tell you what is right and what is wrong, who to speak with and who to not, who to pray to or who to not. I'm just telling you it's all legit and not in contradictory. And it all depends on you. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, and everything is right here. See this link? Right here.